This is what my current planche looks like, and this is what it looked like 1 month ago. Throughout this month, I was actively training certain moves and exercises that I will explain in today's video. Hopefully this will be useful for you if you are struggling with straddle planche or even duck planche. A big disclaimer first. In order for you to successfully perform each of the following exercises, you have to be strong enough. But today I'm not talking about strength, only about the actual exercises and how to do them. This video is also for people who have the strength needed to go from duck to straddle planche, but just cannot engage their muscles properly. I'm going to focus on specific exercises that develop mind-muscle connection, as well as small muscle groups needed for the planche. A quick reminder if you're not sure what mind-muscle connection is. Obviously, it's a connection between your brain and certain muscles, but why is it so important? To put it simply, a perfect connection means you can use 100% of your muscles. Most likely, a beginner will only use 20 to 30%. Imagine if you could tap into your full abilities. This is why we have separate workouts dedicated to developing this and working directly on the skill. Now, it doesn't mean that you will automatically master full planche if you use 100% of your muscles. Here's the deal. Your planche depends mostly on two things, strength and practice. You need both if you want to succeed, and you cannot improve mind-muscle connection beyond your strength. Take a look at this. Let's say you need to reach level 100 in strength to get the planche. So you start training only for strength. You're doing weighted dips, push-ups, bench press, overhead press, and other exercises, and after a while you are ready. But it's not enough, because now you have to learn the technique and understand how to use those muscles. Just like in video games, as you're leveling up, you unlock new skills, but now you also need experience to fully master the skill. The experience in this case is mind-muscle connection. You actually may be strong enough for the planche, but you haven't mastered your muscles. And this is exactly what happened to me. For the last 6 months, I was actively building strength, and now, for the past few weeks, I also focused on practice and skill-specific exercises. Let's now cover what exactly those exercises are. The short answer is this list right here. The long answer is keep watching this video and I'll explain each one in detail. Let's start with the basics. This is the most simple exercise that directly prepares your shoulders for the planche. It's also a very important movement that you just need to be good at. I'm sure you can see the similarities between this and the planche. There are many variations of this movement, and I would recommend doing two of them. First one is lying down, and the second is standing against the wall in this position to simulate the planche angle and get that full range of motion. The most important part is to keep your arms completely straight and your elbows locked out. Start with an appropriate weight and progressively overload from there. Next up is a more advanced version of straight arm raises. You have to learn to raise your body to a handstand from a tuck position. Once I mastered this, my mind-muscle connection improved significantly and I immediately gained another second to my straddle planche. Just like before, the arms have to be completely straight, but your first attempts may look something like this. It's okay to bend your arms at the start, but eventually you should get to a perfect technique. If you're struggling with this move, there are a few things that might help. First is to keep doing straight arm raises with the dumbbells. The second is of course to keep practicing handstand raises through bent arms. And the third is doing negatives. This is the next exercise on my list. It's much easier and should be learned even before the actual raise. There are only two mistakes that can prevent you from learning this move. Either you're going too fast or you're not leaning forward enough. If you record yourself, you will easily spot that mistake. This is how to do it step by step. Bend your legs, start leaning forward while simultaneously lowering your legs, and that is all. Next is a 90-degree press to a handstand. This exercise is basically a handstand push-up and a 90-degree hold combined. Even though it doesn't use straight arm strength, it's still a great exercise for your shoulders. A lot of people would recommend this, but to be honest, I haven't really trained this exercise and I still somewhat learned the straddle, so it's quite individual as you can see. This isn't to say that I don't need it. I'll keep practicing this as well and the planche can only improve from it. If you want to learn it, you will need to master a 90-degree hold first, as well as a handstand press-up. After that, you can do two things, negatives and 90-degree press with bent legs. If you have enough strength and are constantly practicing this move, you will inevitably get to a good technique. Now we have band assisted holds. Resistance bands can be a great tool if you have access to them, but it's definitely possible to learn the planche without them. I really prefer having them in my workout, the reason being you can gain the understanding of the planche much faster since you are literally holding it, even if it's the assisted version. Again, it's highly individual, so try it out and decide for yourself. A small detail worth mentioning is the placement of the band. The most optimal for me is this one, where the band force pulls you directly upwards. Finally, we have straddle planche attempts. This one is self-explanatory. If you want to learn the planche, you have to keep practicing it. At the start of your workout while you're fresh, perform 3 to 4 attempts to the best of your ability. You never know when you'll hit it. And that will be it. Again, I didn't talk about the strength required to get to this point. That's a topic for a whole other video that I'll probably make in the future. If you want to see more, check out my other videos. I also offer a front lever course if you're interested. You can DM me on Instagram for the details. The link is below. That is all. See you in the next one.